So continuing on with the Age of Imperialism, Section 4, British Imperialism in India. We're going to take a look at how the British expanded their control over India. Primarily at first this is done through economic imperialism through the British East India Company. They come in to India seeking out the various resources and labor sources that India has to offer in an economic purpose. The company uses an army, including the Indian soldiers that are going to be known as the sepoy. India was seen as the most important British colony due to its production of raw materials. It became known as the jewel in the crown because it is the most important colony of Great Britain. The effects of British rule on India. The impact of colonialism. Number one, railroads move cash crops and goods faster. Again, cash crops, as a reminder, are those crops that are grown primarily for the purpose of sale and not for the purpose of providing food for a family to eat. These include crops like cotton. The British will also control political and economic power throughout all of India. With the massive growth of cash crops, this is going to result in the loss of India being self-sufficient because they're no longer going to grow enough food to feed themselves, which is going to cause widespread famine and lots of death. The Indian culture is going to become disrupted due to the fact that racism and missionaries are both going to increase in India. The racism comes from several sides. Of course, you've got the general racism between the Indians and the British themselves. On top of that, you have a huge divide that is going to be seen between the Islamic population and the Hindu population as well. They do not like each other. And on top of all of that conflict, you have Christian missionaries coming to India trying to convert both Islamic and Hindu Indians to become Christian. So there is a lot of overall conflict and racism taking place in India, which is going to keep the country divided, which is going to allow Great Britain to hold on to it for a very, very long time. While in India, of course, Britain, in order to utilize Indian sources to the fullest, they need to modernize India, which is going to include improving their transportation system, upgrading their economic system, improving things like sanitation, building hospitals, bringing Western medicines to keep people healthy, educating people so that India as a whole can be modernized enough for the British to make maximum amount of profit, but not so modernized that India will be able to gain its independence. One aspect of rebellion that is seen in India is through the Sepoy rebellion. The Indians are going to rebel against the British due to the fact that they are going to refuse to use gun cartridges due to religious reasons. Bullets at this time were greased in either pig or cow fat. In order to use the bullet before you load it into your gun, you had to bite the tip of the bullet off, which was that grease from the pig or the cow. Now this went directly against Muslim beliefs because Muslims have taken a solemn vow not to ingest pork or pig due to the fact that it is considered as to be very unclean. Pigs often eat their own feces, which again gets into their meat, so it's kind of a nasty thing that they don't want to deal with. Cows, on the other hand, to the Hindu people, cows are the most sacred animal that they have in their religion. So to kill it for its fat, directly goes against what they believe. So both religious groups are very upset that they've been tricked into breaking very important aspects of their religious rules, so they decide to rebel. The rebellion doesn't go too far. A lot of the sepoys were initially jailed. Those who weren't jailed, they did go ahead with the rebellion, although it got put down rather quickly for several reasons. One big reason, of course, the sepoys are made up of both Islamic and Hindu Indians who don't usually see eye to eye on things. They also lacked leadership as well. The overall results of the rebellion, Britain is going to take direct control of India now, which again means that they're going to have more of a physical presence in India to run the day-to-day functions of the country for the Indian people. This new direct control government is going to be called the Raj. Distrust between both the Indians and the British is also going to rise during this time, of course, because of how they've been lied to and kind of tricked into betraying their belief system. So here we have a picture of a map of India here. In the orange outline is going to be the area in which the Sepoy Mutiny took place. The light green is going to be the British-controlled areas during 1805, and then the light yellow parts is going to be the British areas controlled in 1805. Nationalism in India. There's going to be a huge call for reforms. India is going to adopt several modernization movements in hopes that if they take on some Western ways and adopt them into their culture, that they will become strong enough to become independent of Great Britain. However, no matter how many attempts of modernization they were able to go through in India, there's still a lot of religious issues that are keeping the Indians from being able to cast out the British. Two of those issues are the fact that the Indian National Congress is made in 1885, which again calls for independence from Great Britain, but they are primarily made up of Hindu people. And then in 1906, the formation of the Muslim League is formed, in which that league is primarily made up of Islamic men, and of course they do not trust the Hindus, so a lot of what they're going to be fighting for is going to be strictly for the Islamic Indian population, leaving the Hindus out of things.